Hi there, you lovely lot, and welcome to the latest episode of Pat's Procrastination, brought to you by the Pat's Propaganda YouTube channel. Please do not forget to be rating, reviewing, and subscribing, as they say, so that you do not miss an episode. Here we are, folks, number 86, and our first divisional playoff win show, game, recap, wrap.
Yep.
Really need to shorten those. But anyway, folks, Clazzy Clare, Chudders here, hoping to entertain you for about 30 minutes and discuss the 28-16 win over the Houston Texans at Gillette Stadium on Sunday just gone. So here we are. Wowzers. How are things with you, Chudders?
Woohoo, we're going to the championship game. What a weekend. What a weekend of games. How many did you watch in total? Or did you just watch Pat's?
No, I watched the Bills game. The Bills Broncos game. That threw me there. Mm-hmm. Yes, I watched the Bills Broncos game, as in I watched the game. Then I watched our game. And the two other games I've seen, like the recap of the one. No, I watched some of it. I apologize. The Seahawks. It's 2 in the morning for me still. The Seahawks 49ers game I watched most of, if not all. It was the Bears Rams one that I haven't had a chance to catch up on. I know of, I just haven't experienced it myself. I'm going to this week. I'm going to catch up on it because I really want to have seen everything, sort of thing. But I squeezed in plenty of football. I think that's all my weekend was, to be fair. The only things I did on the weekend was food and football. 2 Fs. Probably 2 of the best, I mean, really. So, yeah. Did you see everything?
Were you pleased? Were you happy? Were you excited? Were you bouncing? Were you nervous?
It was so long ago.
You were quite close with your prediction score, weren't you? What was your prediction score last week?
Yes. I'm glad you mentioned that. I was going to mention that a little bit later. Yeah. But yeah, I predicted a 20-16 Patriots win. And it was a 28-16. I was one touchdown off, kind of ish. You were terrible. I said ish.
I'm pleased.
Ish. You were terrible. Pleased. You were a 24-27 Texans win. So you were terrible.
Very pleased to be wrong.
Yeah, I know, but you're ruining it. Being pleased to be wrong just takes all the fun out of it for me. Really does.
How many times this weekend did the Paul Perillo meme of "it always works out for the Patriots" go through your head? Because it went through mine at least half a dozen.
None.
It started with, certainly in the UK, waking up Sunday. First of all, I can't remember if we discussed this last week. Let's go through the weekend. With the Bills Broncos game, who did you want to win that? You wanted the Broncos to win? I wanted the Broncos to win.
That was another head-heart thing. Sorry, that was another head-heart. You know how we discussed the week before about the Texans, whether or not, it was a head-heart thing because I didn't want to go against the Texans defense, but I just couldn't So again, it was one of those, that was the Steelers. That was it. I couldn't cheer for the Steelers. And this was the same. It was like, I get that the Broncos are probably the better team. I tiptoe around that. But I just couldn't want the Bills to have any success whatsoever. I mean, I don't know if I feel ever so slightly bad because, spoiler alert, folks, it has now resulted in Sean McDermott's firing. So that's not great. Well, I don't know. Somebody might not have heard it yet. So this might be breaking news for them.
Mike Vrabel is now the longest tenured coach in the AFC East.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Always the best, but obviously, regardless. But
so I wasn't sure going into that game who I wanted to win, because did I want the Pats to, if the Pats won, did I want them to be hosting an AFC Championship or going to Denver? And I felt that the Bills were going to be the tougher team, the tougher matchup than the Broncos, but you've got the home field advantage. But then as soon as I had the game on, just my head of my heart kicked in. I just wanted the Bills to lose. So I was relieved and pleased when they did. Then waking up Sunday morning to the news that Bo Nix is out, and I know we don't want to flash forward too much, that was the first Paul Perillo. Wow, it always works out for the Patriots.
Well, I have a point on him, so we'll get to the
okay. We'll get to look forward.
We really should talk.
So
about
the Pats win. What was your good? What was your synopsis? What was your good, Claire?
Well, I've got defense. Then I've got an arrow and a list of all the names, because it was just the defense was really good, and it was really difficult not to name most of the guys just because they were all so good. But then I ended up just pretty much listing the defense, so it's one of those. But obviously I had Zach Kerr at the top of my list. And then I had the full Davis experience, which is like a good and a bad. He hit the good list, Carlton Davis, because play out of his mind. And then he has the penalties that go onto the bad list. So he's literally there's a good and there's a bad, and then there's his name all the way across kind of thing. I think he even went out with an injury. So if you want to do the good, the bad, and the injured that people say,
fill the whole list.
He's on everybody's list for everything. So, but yeah, I listed off Woodson and Spillane, Barmore, Ellis, Williams, Devine, Gonzo, Chaser, Marcus Jones. It was have I missed anybody sort of thing? They were just I don't want to be so surprised that the defense is so good. We've been used to the Patriots defense being really good. And I want to be that positive kind of, because they're going to be good sort of fan, but they have just suddenly gone, you know what? It's the playoffs. We're amazing. Regular season, we're good, we're fine, we're okay, we have issues, we don't have issues, we're good again, and things like this. And then the playoffs, wowzers.
Right, so I'll play party pooper here then. So first of all, I'll eat a little bit of crow because I think they played better than I thought they would. I feared that the week before had been a bit of an anomaly, and that they weren't actually as good as people were purporting them to be. They played better than I thought they would. However, I also don't think they're necessarily as amazing as you're thinking still. And I think a lot of what made them look good was really poor Texans play. If I'm a Texans fan, CJ Stroud was horrendous. He coughed the ball at so many times. He threw the ball. It wasn't exceptional picks.
No, of course.
That made the plays, exceptional turnovers. It was just really bad quarterbacking.
Yes.
And they were unlucky to have already been without their number one receiver and tight end, and then they lose the number two tight end, I think, and another receiver in the game. And the number three. And so they didn't have many options. They had to force it at times to people who aren't going to be at the same level. You need to bear that in mind, I think, when you're reviewing. Now, that said, you could be against a similar situation this coming weekend. And overall, the defense played well. I didn't think it was certainly the offense I didn't think played that well. It wasn't a great performance. I'd love to be able to say, if you do that again next week, you're not going to win that matchup. But realistically, you probably could do that again this weekend. Get through to the Super Bowl. You're probably not going to be able to do it in the Super Bowl, should they get there. But it was a good performance from the defense. I'm still not blown away. They are an elite defense. But it was a good performance from the defense.
Now, none of what you have said is incorrect. And I was really just reacting on the game, though, on the sort of the kudos from the game. They did, yes, I appreciate what you are saying, what they were against in the Texans, but it was still a fun, good defense to watch. So I'm not being naive by what I'm saying, because I completely see what you are saying. It's just that whole enthusiasm for what they did. That's all. Not that I don't see the logical side of, there was 8 turnovers and 5 was by the Texans kind of thing. I get it. Yeah.
I mean, that interception where he was about to get sacked, so he just sort of threw the ball up in the air about 15 yards. So that was the one straight to Jones, was it, for the run back? and it was
straight
like
to Marcus
that
Jones.
was
There you go.
so bad.
Yeah,
Take the sack, which I know you don't want to really do and lose that many yards, but like what you did was 10 times worse than taking a sack.
Not denying any of that. Still cheering and championing the defense, though. Still on my good list. But no,
they are on my good list as well. Defense is on my good list. Not trying to adjust that one. Defense is definitely on my good list. I'm just also not getting carried away that we have some sort of elite top 5 defense in the NFL, because I don't think we do.
No, I can be enthusiastic about it without being carried away and without
That's
being
fair.
naive and not seeing the negatives.
So, any offense made your good list?
Yeah, loads. Well, sorry, let me just reduce it. Not loads, some. Yes, some. Do you not want any good? Do you not? I'm going to steal all the good.
I just asked you for good.
Yes. No, I meant, do you not want to go with any goods? I've got there's 3 names on my good list that are on the offensive side of the ball.
Yep.
One is Booty.
Yep.
That guy really deserves some extra credit for
just for that catch.
How he's turned his season around as well from like previous and stuff. But yes, just that catch. That's fine. He can have a gold star for just that catch.
Did you think it was a catch when you watched it live?
The Booty.
I thought they were going to call it back. I thought.
I think not for a moment.
It's hit the ground there.
Yeah. Oh no! It was just a split second of when you saw it again. It was fine.
See, I'm the opposite. When I watched it live, I thought, oh, wow, how's he managed to catch that? All the reactions, there didn't seem to be any real protests from the Texans. I thought, wow, that's phenomenal. Then I watched the replay, and the ball hit the floor. Now, to be fair, it didn't move much, but I thought, I just wonder whether they're going to call this one back here. I was very relieved and pleased to see that it wasn't. Again, we can probably have a conversation about the referees this weekend later on as well.
Can we not? It's boring.
Do we have any clear adjectives? Oh, go on then. Yep, Mondre.
Mondre, really taking on board that he's having to be like the proper strong number 1 receiver. Running back. And I know that they ran the same plays over and over again, and he just kept getting yards. And he just looked, and unfortunately went out with an eye injury and came back, sort of thing. I feel like, now this is just a feeling. I know you understand what they are because you have plenty when it comes to sports, other things not so much. But I have this feeling that he just seems to really be stepping up, really sort of taking weight on his shoulders to be that guy. And I just, and he's had his issues, and
I think it's proving he wants to be the number 1. I think you can probably see some, a lot of hype around Henderson, and it's stepping up to be at number 1. I'd also say on a day when ball security was at a premium because so many other people were turning it over in so many different ways, he has a history of that. Not even a sniff of it, I didn't think, on Sunday. He retained that ball. He obviously was used quite a lot in the running game, even a little bit in the passing game. It was never an issue. His ball security was a lot stronger.
You wanted. I also have Pop, but that goes into my notes because my note. What is this, like the corner of Claire's Notes corner or something?
Oh, Claire's Notes corner. Okay, new segment. 5 season.
Well, you wanted all the buzzwords.
Adjectives. Yeah, go on. What were your buzzwords?
Well, technically it's not, but in regards to Pop, I got pop on a line. That was in the first quarter when he was doing it. I also put in brackets, I don't like toe. Yeah, you all know.
Is that because he was good or because he did something bad? Right. Okay.
No, he's a very good player. I didn't like him. He was scaring me.
Fierce, wasn't he?
Yeah, exactly. It was like, oh, I'm only small. I'd be scared. I don't know if I had any buzzwords. Like I said, I had the pop line. I had a great snatch by Booty.
Okay.
Behave, people. I don't think I had any. No, nothing.
I put Diggs on there as well. I put Diggs on there as well. His hands to catch that in the end zone. was phenomenal, and there was a couple of other first downs I think that he caught in tight windows and ran some good routes.
Yeah,
I'd put Diggs in there as well, and you could see it. It meant something to him. He wanted to beat his old team. He's never made a Super Bowl. He's seeing this as an opportunity potentially. It's meaning a lot to him. He's got the vibes.
See, Vrabel's that good. He has me loving ex-Bills players. They deserve some credit too. So, in the Claire's Notes corner, I have like highlighted circles because I got a nice block by Westover.
Okay.
That was in the second quarter. It wasn't a great yardage by Henderson, but it was a good block by Westover.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah. I had great snatch by Booty. That was in the circle as well. I had an catch for Hooper because it was a first down as well. So we got an and I also got a holy, and then I'm going to bleep it because this is a family show. Okay. Booty with the one-handed touchdown catch. So it was holy. Throw in a curse word, folks, and then Booty with the one-handed catch. 26 yards.
Holy Badger.
Holy Badger. Okay. Yeah.
Any more goods you'd like to throw out there?
There's probably some more, but that's all mine. That's all I got written down.
Okay. Little ones, I'd say things like, again, Borgalis made his kicks. Simple. Like we've said before, almost the expectation is your kicker always does. But again, we've seen they don't always manage it. He made all his kicks. Keep doing that. Don't be a reason we lose it.
Do you make all your kicks on a daily basis?
Obviously. No, you cannot see. I'm number 54. I'm a linebacker. I do not need to make kicks.
It's a metaphor for like doing well, but
no. No, I'd agree with you. There's Schooler as well had some good coverage tackles as well. I thought
he needs. I have a comment about him. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, go on.
He needs like to dial it back just like 1 degree, because Schooler is wound up so tightly that when he is fired off against, he tends to like grab at people but go past them. As in, he'll get an arm on them and he'll slow them down, and then someone else will like take them down. It's as if he's got so much momentum that he doesn't quite manage to hold on. He kind of scoops round, slips off. It just, and like, he's just, maybe if he dialed it back 1 degree, he'd stop. But I also don't want him to change because he's brilliant. So
okay.
That's just everybody deserves kudos because everybody is wonderful. Everything.
Fair enough. So while we're on the goods, then, did you have an underrated player of the day?
I don't know if Booty's classed as an underrated player of the day for the one-handed catch. Really,
you can give it for that. I'm tempted to give mine for one particular standout play, although I did think they had a good game generally. In Robert Spillane, and that his coverage dropping back as a DB, as a safety or something in to win the game essentially blew me. I couldn't. First, I thought it was a catch by the Texans to begin with. Then when I saw it wasn't, it was broke up. Thought brilliant play. Then when I saw it was Spillane that had tracked him back in coverage, I was, whoa, what are you doing back there? But it was a hell of a play.
Mm-hmm. I did have that in capital letters on the end of my notes.
Excellent.
Lovely breakup by Spillane to close the game. 28-16. That's the end of my notebook.
So what's on your bad list?
Fumbles and turnovers. May's pocket presence. Davis's penalties. They weren't great.
Do I put O-line or do I specifically call out Campbell? Because that's really starting to worry me long term about his tackle.
I have Campbell's struggle
performance. He's that's past few weeks now. He's struggling. I do worry about him long term as a tackle if that's the sort of performances we're going to get when he comes against really tough opposition, because it was some tough edge guys that he's come across past few weeks, but it's been a real problem. That was the main cause of the turnover, or certainly the fumbles, because it was the blindside ball getting batted out of the hands from May when he was cocked and ready to throw, where he'd be assuming he has enough time to be getting that pass out. Now, possibly you could put it on him. He needs to release sooner, but realistically, the greater problem there was Campbell not being able to get his blocks in properly, to the point where you wonder whether he's got to have help. They've got to scheme up more help than that, whether that's chipping, whether that's a tight end who's doing some additional blocking, some more jumbo linemen. You put Mumford out there and have double blocks. Like, you're going to have to give May more of a chance than that if Campbell's against some top pass rushers again.
I'd like to preface it with, he's a rookie who's had his first injury and come back from injury, and they have been against the top defenses in the NFL. Put it into some perspective. Now, he's on my bad list. I agree, he struggled. It's just put it into a slight bit of perspective as well. That's all.
You're right in what you've said. But realistically, if that becomes the level of play, then I'm not sure that can continue.
Yeah, but that's
long term.
As I said, rookie.
He's going to need to move to guard or get a new tackle in, because if you have performances like that every week, that is not your left tackle. If that was Vidarian Lowe, you'd be saying, why is he starting? If Lowe had put those performances in the past 2 weeks, you're right in what you say. It's someone who's come back from injury. It's a rookie. But you drafted him number 4. You had higher expectations than you'd get in the postseason, and that'd be the performance.
I guess I'm not just... I suppose it's just there's reasons for me to not hit the panic button just yet, personally, but that's just a personal opinion on that one. But I'm not saying, as I said, he was. I preface it.
I think a win helps that. I think winning the game helps your view on that.
I guess so.
If Stroud hadn't turned the ball over, they'd got 2 touchdowns more and won the game. We'd be sat here saying, why did we lose that game? Turnovers. Why do we have turnovers? Campbell wasn't getting his blocks off.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I don't disagree at all. Just giving you a clear perspective.
Excellent. Plugging other shows there. That's fine. I do think he needs extra support. I do think he needs extra support next week, if there is a week after and a second game ahead. That's going to be a target. If you are a defense scouting the Pats, that's where you're going to be looking to exploit at the moment, to be honest. So
you need to know your role. I brought you up.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Know your place, mister.
Anything else you want to touch on from that game?
Touch on from that game? No, I think I'm good now.
It was good. Are you ready for a championship game?
It's only Tuesday.
I was ready for it, to be honest, Sunday morning when I woke up and saw the news about Knicks. But I was ready for it Sunday. I'm pumped for this.
Okay, let's talk
it
then.
feels a little surreal for all the expectations.
Yeah.
We thought this year would be better. I think everyone thought this year was going to be better than what we'd seen.
Yeah.
We had hope. We had optimism. Some more than others. I'll be honest.
I'm glad you said that.
You have more than me. But even yours, as super fan and as positive as Claire is, you would not have thought we'd be in this position right now.
Probably not.
And I don't think anyone would. And if anyone had been, we'd have called them absolutely crazy if they'd have said this to us.
Well, you call me that anyway.
Well, So where do you sit on
my bottom?
The Pats being paper tigers? Because that was the call
Nah.
during, near the end of the regular season. There was a lot of call. I know we listen to the same shows. A lot of calls saying, "Oh, it's paper tigers. They've beat up on bad teams. Easiest schedule ever. They're not going to do anything in the postseason. Wait till they face some elite players." They've won 2 games in the postseason. However, you would say the teams they played have absolutely pooped the bed when it's come to particularly their offenses. And it's not, whilst maybe we had differing views on this, I think the defense has played well in both games, but it's not elite defense play that has made those teams poop the bed. And have the Pats been not necessarily I don't think they're fortunate to be in the position they're in, but they themselves, Drake May has not played as well as in the postseason as he has all season. And like I said to open the show, realistically, you could probably have that same game Sunday and they still win because of the position that the Broncos are going to be in on their side of the ball. And so you could be potentially getting to a game in San Francisco, having had the easiest season ever, having had arguably one of the easiest postseason runs ever, but you're still there. You got a chance. So where are you weighing up on actually the Pats could be a very deserving AFC champion this year versus they're incredibly lucky and they're nowhere near as good as these results are showing?
I agree. You can only play who you're given. You can only deal the cards you're dealt, sort of thing. And whilst I appreciate that you can only play with the cards you're dealt.
Whatever. There we
go. Yeah, there we go. We got there in the end. Yeah, I appreciate what is being said with an easier schedule. It's statistically the easiest schedule, and I'm not going to deny it. However, the Patriots have still had to play. They've still had to put in that hard work and show up and make good football choices and take advantage of bad football. And they've still worked hard to get here. They've worked just as hard as anyone else has worked. So I don't believe in taking it away from them by saying you're only here because it's a cupcake schedule or you're only. So no, I give them the credit for the work that they've done. They couldn't have played anyone else because that's who they were given to play. I appreciate they've had some good fortune in the rise that they've had so far, but I still no paper tiger and all this. No, I can concede that. Yes, I can see how there's easier opponents and things like that. And those opponents have played really badly. But those opponents have played really badly as well. That's on them. And have they created any of that? I know you said about the defense, not so much, it's not that they play badly because the defense is elite. And I get it. I can see all what is there and realistic and logical. But I still believe that they deserve where they are because of the hard work that they've put in to do and because of the way that they've pulled together from a 4-13 team to a 14-3 team. It's been a bit spoilt bratty sitting there. Oh, well, they're any cupcake schedule paper. Just get over it and be a fan, or don't. It's one of those, really.
I don't think it's get over there and be a fan.
You can't change it. Well, you can't.
No,
change
but
it.
I think you can be
schedule that they've.
But I think you can have an honest review of your team and think, I'm not pretending we are elite at everything. That doesn't mean you're not a fan. Yeah, but I don't think it's fair to say you're not a fan unless you're being.
I didn't say you're not a fan. I'm just saying that. Well, what do you want them to do then?
I think the phrase you got right in there near the beginning was they've been taking advantage of bad football. In the regular season, in the postseason, they've been taking advantage of mistakes of bad football. They've made some of their own, particularly these past 2 games. And the opposition they've been against has not taken advantage of the Pats' bad football because the Pats have played some, I'm afraid.
Again, not denying it.
So that's kudos to the Pats for taking advantage of that bad football, turning those turnovers into points.
they played who they played.
They played. That is correct. They did.
What do you want them to have done then? Do you want them to
play better? I would like them not to have turned over the ball themselves.
Yeah, but so you want a perfect
block
season
better
from them in the first season under a new coach. So what you're being is a spoiled fan. Just a spoiled
I don't think that's the sport. Do you want Campbell to make his blocks better?
Of course.
Bingo. So do I. Do you want Drake May to perform at the level he has been in the regular season in the postseason?
Yeah, I think he's got kind of playoff jitters.
I agree. So I think we're actually on the same level. We're not on a different.
It's just the whole paper tiger thing. I don't like it. I get that.
I'm not saying they're a paper tiger. I'm using that argument that people have made.
You posed a question to me to get me to say things that you could pull me up on, basically.
No, it's to get your opinion on it.
I see the logicalness of who they have played, and I can see when they've played badly and when they've played well, but you can't change who they have played. They are here. Let's just celebrate that they're here. No, we just want to nitpick it. Can't we just be enjoying the fact
that's for looking forward, though. We can be pleased that we can do both things. We can be pleased that they're here, but we can project forward, look forward, and say, okay, we're pleased that we got here, but now we've got here. How have we got here? How do we think that'll affect us going forward?
I guess I'm not really looking at the path behind me. I'm trying to look at the Broncos ahead. So we really should talk about the Broncos rather than just arguing about semantics, to be honest with you. People don't want to just tune in for that. They'll go to other shows. So on Sunday, the Patriots are playing for hats and t-shirts again. Is it? Yeah.
And a trophy.
More hats and shirts. And a trophy. Oh, yeah. Good. Against the 14-3 Broncos. So now, as you alluded to, Bo Nix is out now for the rest of the season. But Sean Payton isn't bad when it comes to getting the most out of his quarterbacks. So Stid the kid steps up. This is really strange. This is like, God, you couldn't write it, could you?
Nope.
Now, Stidham has played, according to Tom Curran on the Aftermath, as we heard this morning, 4 times in the last 3 years. He's around 20 for 34, 265 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 pick. Now, he's not a stiff, as TC said, apparently. That's what Tom Curran said. I'm just quoting Tom Curran here. Is he easily rattled, though?
Has he thrown a pass attempt in the National Football League since the 2023 season? Nope.
Wow, have you?
No, but I'm not playing for the Broncos this weekend at quarterback. That's the difference. And given the size of me, I might work better as some sort of fullback quarterback than he would.
Fullback quarterback.
Hand the ball off and I'll just plow into the line.
I want to know how tall he is now. This interested me now.
Is that going to adjust your score prediction, is it?
Yeah, this is good. This makes so much difference.
The kind of good thing, if you like, obviously, it's good that Bo Nix is not playing if you want to look at it from a Pat's point of view and purely winning the game, ignoring that, we want your best players there, we want to beat you at your best. If you're that sort of fan, totally get that. Personally, I don't care. He's not playing. Brilliant. Even greater chance the Pats win. The first thought you possibly logically have is, okay, so they're going to have to turn to their run game. Realistically, the Broncos don't have a great run game. This past weekend, Bo Nix had 12 attempts. The collective rest of their running back core had 10 attempts between them. 4 and 6 for Harvey and McLaughlin. Mm-hmm. So they're not a run-heavy team. I would think they may try and run it more, but realistically, that's not exactly their forte, which means that Stidham's going to have to pass. We've obviously seen him firsthand at the Pats. He can pass, but you would like to think it's not going to be at top level, particularly someone who's not had game experience yet. You'd like to think the Pats have been playing well on defense. We've been saying they've been
Mhm.
playing good. I think they've been scheming good. I think they're going to come with pressure to them. They're going to try and get to him early. They're going to try and put him under pressure. Like you say, they're going to want to rattle him. That's going to be the approach. You'd like to think this cornerback core, the defensive backs, can match up with these receivers to not give them much space, not time, much any. I'm getting a wagged finger. Go on.
Yeah, because I thought of something. Sorry, go
on. Okay. Go for it.
No, just thought about the whole rattling the quarterback. And whilst we had, I know we had Drake May on our bad list and things like that. The one thing that he seems to do is like keep calm and carry on sort of thing.
Yep.
Whereas other quarterbacks, we saw CJ Stroud, I reckon, got rattled by the situation, the whole seeing ghosts and all that kind of thing. And it feels like that would be the recipe for against Stidham, because he just hasn't got the experience.
Agree.
So is he going to be able to shake it off the way that Drake May does, kind of thing? That's going to be an interesting point. If May can carry on playing like that, and if how Stidham shows up when it comes to that sort of thing. But you said that you sort of not celebrated, but were happy when you saw that it wasn't Bo Nix, that it was Jarrett Stidham, and I just noticed that we really need to hurry up with time-wise. I don't know. The Sean Payton factor plays into that, I think.
I'm sure he's going to get Stidham ready, and I think that's actually the first, because I do think Payton is a good head coach in the NFL. I think that's why they announced it so early. He came back out for the second press conference, essentially, to release that news, where they could have sort of kept it hidden and not actually addressed it until Wednesday, when they have to start doing their reports, if they really had wanted to, and tried to almost catch the Pats out that way. But I think what he wanted to do was say, nope, I'm backing my guy. I'm backing myself and backing my coaches to get him ready, and to try instilling confidence was his approach to that. I'm sure he will. He'll have a plan of what they're going to do and how they're going to do it. Realistically, though, as good as Sean Payton is, it comes down to the quality of the quarterback and how well he can execute whatever plan that is. And that's where you'd like to think the Pats are going to find ways to get at Stidham, and Stidham is not going to be able to produce the same quality. There's a reason he's a backup quarterback. There's a reason he's not thrown a pass since the 2023 season. And he's going to have to do it in an AFC championship where Pats will be coming there sniffing blood. This isn't, and I think you can tell from the mentality, from Vrabel's approach to it, they're not coming here thinking they're already in a Super Bowl. They will be coming lights, eyes burning on fire to do everything they can to earn it. They know that entitlement, as they've said at the start of the season, or before the even camp started, they were removing entitlement. There's no, it's fine, we're going to the Super Bowl, we don't have to worry here. They're going to come with fire to earn it.
And to that end, because we really need to hurry up.
Okay, so what's your prediction of the score then? Sorry,
I was just going to say that the defense, the Broncos defense, is something we've talked a lot about. The offense, but the defense, they're third fewest points per game allowed in the NFL, 68 sacks, and the second lowest opponent completion rate at 57%. They're not tough. They're not. It's another tough defense for, like you said, for May to go up against. So it's another defense versus defense strength. And then can the offense win out over that Sean Payton-led offense, regardless if it's Jarrett Stidham or not? So, but yeah.
So for me, the key to the game is turnover again. That if I don't think Stidham is going to outscore Drake May. Now, where Broncos could have a chance is if they can get turnovers. They can get some short fields, maybe even a score from their defense. If the Pats keep putting it in harm's way, whether that is like at the weekend through fumbles because of missed blocking assignments, or whether that's poor hands in the receiving game, or whatever reason it is, If the Pats start turning the ball over again, then the Broncos will think, no matter what we're doing on offense, we're in this game here. We've got a chance. So I want to see, often in these games, you think, empty the tank, want all the trick plays. You just got to win, get to the championship games, get to the Super Bowl. All this trickeration. Often that happens. You go back and watch the Pats games from the past. I know the teams from the past. It's emptying the playbook. I almost want the opposite. Bring it right back down to basics. Secure the football. Pat's running game is really strong. Use that as much as you can. Keep that ball secure. Do not give the Broncos defense any sniff of that ball. Make it a fight between May and Stidham rather than defense versus defense, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So just ball security. Simplify it. Ball security. If you second half, you have to bring out the playbook and tricks and passing more, obviously, then you can unload it. But early in the game, keep it as safe and secure as you can the whole way.
To
That's
that
my
end.
feeling.
Because we really need to.
So, what's your prediction then, Claire?
Patriots 21, Broncos 12.
12. So you're going, 4 field goals there?
Not necessarily. It could be like a
not necessarily.
Could be a missed extra point. Could be a touchdown with a missed extra point.
Missed. Okay.
No, it could be a touchdown, a missed extra point, 2 field goals.
Okay.
It's all sorts of things.
Fair enough.
2 touchdowns, 2 extra mixed points. There's all sorts of combinations. You didn't ask me to justify it. You just wanted a number.
Fair enough. I'm going to say 27-10 to the Pats. And I got a feeling there's going to be another defensive score from the Pats. That's my prediction. That I just can't see on defense the Pats letting the Broncos score that many points. And I can't see Vrabel lighting it up massively against this Broncos defense, nor putting it in harm's way. I think they've just got to be secure with this football. Eliminate the turnovers. You'll win this game.
There you have it, folks. Keys to the game.
Is there one last question then before you sign us off? Should the Patriots win this game, do you have a preference for who you'd want to see them against in the Super Bowl? Obviously, both they've played before. Both they've beaten before.
I was going to say not the Seahawks because their defense is like scary. However, I don't think the Rams are just like a cupcake either. So I don't have a preference right now.
Would you like to see
they would both be concerning.
Would you like to see a Stafford May shootout, having fought for the MVP all season, to then go at it one-on-one in the Super?
No. Okay, if you like. If you want. If that's what turns you on, go for it.
You just don't care. Okay. Fair enough.
It's on the pages to win. That's it. I take it you have a preference. Who would you like them to play? Hurry up with your answer.
I'd probably go with the Rams. I'd like to see that shootout. And there's a good chance.
That's fair.
I rate Stafford. It's not because I think we could beat him. I don't think we could beat either team on a perfect day. My biggest fear is that the Seahawks could do the same to the Rams as they've just done to the 49ers. And they go and blow a team out in the championship game as well. And the Pats could, now this is Ben doom and gloom, isn't it? Pats could win the same way they've just won the past 2 games. And then you're worried going into that Super Bowl. Okay, we need to play differently. We need to play a lot better in this Super Bowl. And we need the Seahawks to not fire the way they've been firing all off season.
However, that is next week's problem. That is next week's problem. We're dealing with today's today. But that is it for another episode of Pat's Procrastination, brought to you by the Pat's Propaganda YouTube channel. So sorry for going over, folks. I really hope that you stuck with us to the end and that you have your day back. So, from him, Chudders, from myself, Claire Clazzy Clare, thank you for being with us for episode 86. Tune in next time. And as always, go Pats.
LFG.